family law, my bill, and my family law for so many years. But looking at the position of the family of Lumba, spearheaded by the lawyer, no, not just a come kakra, they decline. Share the position, I would decline carpet. Omodi, Abushane say, Odo Broni no, Broni no, say, they are one enough. Into no, Omodi, first wife, no. The son say, first wife, wow, with our another Germany for so many years, into based on that, no, almost also the from the Sunday who, almost Sunday who, when they say,
Lumba Busia for, yes,
Busia for instance, a constituted dissolution. Ask the lawyer, how do you speak this way? What is the thinking? I don't even say, ordinance marriage, Lumba, ordinance marriage for Germany. Ordinance marriage, Germany ordinance marriage, they say Ghana did the paper. And so wouldn't say, it was trying to mean our go. The lawyer should know. Yeah. The fact, don't go here, no, illegal, unlawful, no void. I say, you, what's what was saying? And then that the CV family, no, now family say, oh, almost our no, tell you, but family doesn't have the power to dissolve an ordinance marriage away with Germany. You don't have the power. You, Sanka, Anka, Rumba, I worry first one who fear. And then Kadia, Okoye, no bush, and Negua, whatever. But when you Okoye wedding with Germany is any longer. Germany marriage, you can, I'm not quite a ship, I change in the I'm the Muchi, they were worrying out of our almost a bigamy. They were worrying under German law. Forward, German forward, I want my one wife. Never the who to check what for a cram cry.
I was also surprised. I was surprised because I felt, what here, according to media for an ecohana, bloggers and ecohona. Who shared the way the documents go, way the another coino. One fat marriage certificate, there was no picture cry. They called the dance here, no sound some way. There was no picture, nothing to show this one is married if ye the apo. Yamfa bibia kra nkokyere se fie die ni se saa be man ko hobi o tia se man ko hobi but me nua kwa metanko specifically said that onim se kwa bia so enya no wan say judge beka say e man ni mienu nyina nyeku before the judgment came up. So is it that these days we can actually know judgments before judgments are read? Because proceedings, no, bloggers ne man who proceedings they koi. Na se utie proceedings no from the bloggers ne dia. That shouldn't have been the case. If that was what it is, that shouldn't have been the case. And my brain wetitibini. Please, that's also neither here or there. Me no be the hen. And money pan me ba. That doesn't also mean so say nipa no so yes say jumana eyamfum so because as I said, the only person who can really tell nipa no we free mu. So let me tell you because obi to me kwadi obi aware ebo so a oba na wo ti aware ho no ye fi wo so ye ma wonko. E na oba bi so ti aware ho ya aware bone. Ono so betimi na dwen so onko. Ono so a onware papa. Or body brab onko because of osusika wenya ne fame bia wenya. If you cannot prove somebody's certificate and the other person who was also traditionally married could not bring anybody to testify that I was there 2010 when the marriage went on there, there's a problem with the judgment.
Ghana Blaze unia busia memo akwa abata so message so be like video no na wa share e de amaminadofo eyo odobloni an oni mama akotua judgment na call so an last week no an weekends nim ewo Kumasi High Court no still a ebidie omo jira o ma adwen say judgment na nkoyi adofo eno na ama lawyer Maurice Ampaw o so no de family lawyers there o say waye bi panga say sa judgment na call so no o say fort wo ho edie bi ntina empu odobloni omo lawyers no omo nim say that the lumba aware na okoware ye o Germany na nya ade a mo betumi agu no an intimpo se mo agye atom say odobloni that the lumba e ware no wa bla na wa ware we Germany a mo ntumi angu aware no na mo say mo go no an wo say fort o baby san say nke ye say lawyer no ehu say aware no ye ngu ne ye Germany aware nti say Ghana aware a odi nsa akako hu obi na simple no wasan akɔgye nsa no na afi mo agu aware no ɔtenye nsa na Germany de ne te na afi mo de mo ayɛ nhwɛhan ama mo matumi aka sɛ lumba aware odobroni e de aka ma makosua aware no ho ana o ma aware wɔ Germany ne dia o se fort wɔ no ngasa saa na ɛyɛ lawyer Maurice Ampaw&Yaa so e kan I want fancy wa na ɛyɛ na ya Brefo so wɔde nsɛm bi ɛbetu dwa na ɔka sɛ judgment na ngasa no problem wɔ ho ayɛ san sɛ edie be nti na mo betumi aba betra monti aba be kasa odobroni sɛ be watiti bi ana sɛ wa ble oda lumba ho ene de kika ho nti no wa be wo mbansi anti tintina ntwan yema ne be yere ɔse kuna na mbe ma na ye omienu be ne de ɔse ɔnhyɛ na ni problem ne mu no edie be nti na mo nim sɛ dadi lumba anya de ɔware odobroni empo traditional marriage na mo se odobroni ware ya no abusuani bi antumi am approve embo mo court no ye na ye hu bi wo mo mutumi ko present your marriage certificate mo de ye fake empo mo man fa mba no ano ai na ya Brefo say na bloggers for ne so nti ye tini na bi empo bloggers for ne bi begina bonten e be kan say wo mo be wi ni no ma ye hu ye wa bla o se Ghana ase the say judgment be ko so ai final judgment be ko so wa bla obi aye ni mana say obi bedi kan ate ho asem kula ade aba beto abonten as na judgment na nsa be ko so dia o se na de na problem e wo baby ai sa judgment we ke amutumi judge say odobroni ai dadi lumba aware no aware e wo Germany no mo agu no ama motumi aware odobroni asoso dia o se problem e wo baby na so mo ngu ne ye ya e de be ntina still a mo je odobroni de no e di tumarofo nsema eye Maurice Ampaw&Yaa e de betu bia asamre die e na ya Brefo so de bi eso aso no oso no de onte ase na e be ko ne akwakọ jintitim ni na bese oso nso be kire wadwe comment section like video no na share efoma me sene dey di kan paso a e ma rem fi so be subscribe to your channel nenzo I can update
abusia for na me pese ye ni nkomo kakra ye lawyer ba ko pe ye lawyer ba ko pe ye lawyer Maurice Ampaw so den nsem bi atudwa na me pese ye ntu ye bo ne ntie ye Maurice Ampaw ne nsem waka e de afa ye odobroni ni abusia pere lawyer se ho ni yo musibi fa case no mu yi no ne bia bonten no onte ase tie lawyer Maurice Ampaw bakraba
no share the current issue of the legend Daddy Lumba and the air kosuya we say me European wa worry me for so many years for about 15-20 years in the meteme baby or also to the baby wa kofo ba for one now issues of who becomes the widow akwakoye major challenger ebusuane yire no mienu ni nyina no e discuss wa bonten now in the positions of the law any the watch no how should such a matter be handled?
I'm really surprised and worried. Na me Papa Jama and Co.
Yeah.
Na omode legal responsible to social media. Na me kanya na me ra ko me ho. The inter me ra ko me say say. Me tun say Baba Jama ni when say legal association no. Said you have to go back and read your family law. But they have to go back and read. I told you, let's be one more expert. That's a missing me expert in family law. My family law, my bill, and my family law for so many years. But looking at the position of the family of Lumba, spearheaded by the lawyer, no, not just a Tom Kakra, they decline. Share the position now, but they can't there. Omodi, Abushane say. Odo broni no say ya ware no nti no omudi omuni first wife no e san say o first wife no we ja aware na kwetsa Germany for so many years nti no based on that no almost also the from the sambe who omudi sambe who when they say
Lumba ebusuafo
omudi mu ebusuafo
yes
for instance, a constituted dissolution. Ask the lawyer, how do you think this way? What is the thinking? I don't even say. Ordinance marriage, Lumba, ordinance marriage for Germany. Ordinance marriage, you know, Germany ordinance marriage, they say Ghana did the pepe. And so them say, it was trying to mean our go. The lawyer should know. Yeah. The fact don't go here no illegal unlawful double void I say
you
what was saying
ban eyo
and that the CV family no now family no say oh omo de awari no omo na megunu tell you, Lumba family doesn't have the power to dissolve an ordinance marriage away with Germany. You don't have the power.
So by the legal system of Germany, the family law rules are existing in Germany, it's almost the same as the Ghana. Hey, and the ordinance, and idea a year by merely saying, say, Medensa Brewer Bushia for our renegu. That is what you are saying.
You, Sanka Anka, Rumba, a worry first one who fear. And then Kadia, Okoye no Bushon, whatever. But when you wedding with Germany is so many longer. Germany marriage you can, I'm not quite shipper change in the yellow. On the wood, they were worrying out of our almost a bigamy. They were worrying under German law. Forward, German forward, I want my one wife. Never the who to check whatever for a crime cry. Then also it become a crime. Into no statement when they buy say, oh, Lumba. Bushafo edges my mister first wife no answer. They should have known better.
Oh, also hundi wum so baba jama lawyers no na ye wunia ye laws ampa ya kasano wose na bi won wose munnim dada but asa mo jije abusua no so ai baba jama lawyers yase mo jije abusua no so munnim the writing munim say writing munim pa hey abusua for and seven no just say and seven aye pinso serious aye pinso because wa munim say sebi eye court awade de ye den saba just nwuye o se kokko kutwitwa ni nyina emu ansa na sebi o still abusua penin sister say Sabia wadine day, a good dada, with Jalum Badada, Kuno. Wow. Hey, I was here before. Okay, I was here. If I didn't bay, I say, lawyer Maurice Ampaw&Yaa Brefo. If I didn't about conversation, you who is who, why not a year court case, or the broni, and Mama Akosia Sewa.
So them to your hand. Because Obi to me could you be a warrior bosswa. Oba na wo ti aware ho no ye fi wo so ye ma wonko e na oba bi so ti aware ho ya aware bone ono so betimi na dwen so onko ono so a onware papa or body brab onko because of so sika wanya na frame bia wanya. If you cannot prove somebody's certificate and the other person was also traditionally married could not bring anybody to testify that I was there 2010, when the marriage went on, there's a problem with the judgment. If there was nobody there to prove, and the person who said, who couldn't even say he was there, or give proof of the marriage, and if a marriage certificate also had just one signature, trouble day. There's more to it than just what happened in the judgment that is out. I'll say I just pray if the judge is a woman. She is. Fortunately or unfortunately, or your bar. But sometimes maybe I know his lordship. Era Bafu Bonnie, Chief Justice. Or call Parliament here to and say I your man 70 years. Yes, I will book more or man 70 years because no who can what it is 70 about a branch at your ear, you know, who was say. So a man in 10 years and now 15 years or your branch here, or by Saba, or by baby, no justice, Baffabon, no, or in a bush your front one, no, I call you much that I be a way or bonity. Mamma 70. Coco, who a samba, or body and also goes to be by Emery, but do on 17 so to me crap here, our banana cram free. According to a year judge. What do I say? So it was not based on what he thought was the right thing, but based on what he thought on his feelings or how he felt at that moment. So you might not know who actually sat on the case and why the person did it that way. You might not know. Because Obi or a third wife, second wife. Obi also ebia ono so continue obi de ho and obi de no ono na wo ana bibinti. I'm not saying that is what it is. I am not saying that is what it is. I'm only using one judgment by Onwan and Samawaka at Parliament to say that sometimes, if that is what it is, it means they can, because judge you are the pain. What they will be or your crop for quite anymore. I have a man by 1 million years, especially in 2 cities open without actually looking at the merits of the case. But your minimum and maximum sentence. Into one maximum meaning as we be a nanka nipa no first time offender. And so to me man minimum and I'm few. O share how nipa ne plead guilty. Na based on that, Obeka so one plead when waste court time unti. Mama will say ko. But because e be a bibi sa ato no penti to me twamawa. Ojuno na nyam na plead guilty and come see me waste time to get hummobo kakra mesu kura po so hummobo ya ye fi mi. What you say? But the Etiabiano, I believe in peace. I believe in joy. I believe both women should have been allowed to deal with the issue. And I busuya for noa. And you to pack. Because a maufi, a busuyan maum could have sat them down to deal with this matter without it going to court. Because case Edin Sembebre, PM Montia, Yang Ghana for Medasi. Or they say, I beloved. Medasi, thank you so much. Edin Sembebre, Piani and Nimfalumba. This particular case. Edin Sembebre, ne bebre, so as young and say free. Title name, Memma, no more, Pema, baby. Any ma, Yawaria, Ebia, say binti. Yes, Usu Bessia be a free. Usu Bessia be a free. So what's your warriors now class certificate? Sasana sem netia. And no and yet enough to say ukra certificate inti. Asem say ba when you obenya utied him according to the judgment. According to the judgment, certificate is just a mere paper. If the certificate is genuine. If it is genuine, it's just a mere paper according to the judgment. Lawyer see because if you abandon your marriage for some years, it's like I don't know what that means. And who determines abandonment? If I decide to come home to come and visit my husband, and my husband doesn't allow me to come home, I beloved Medasi. When mama cry mama mefi, or pay excuse mamia, am I the one who has abandoned the marriage, or the person involved has decided to make me abandon the marriage? Thank you so much, I beloved. I appreciate that. Yanjuni whom you know, me say maware na me me besra me kunu. Na me kunu ma me excuses. Oh, me cry my ya me kwa ha. Ade chimete ha, ochina me kwa ha. Efie no kra say me ye ne ye. O de wo ba kra ya akotena ha na me ba ho. O de eno no me na ma abandi ana se nipa no na ama me kwan ma abandon na nipa no na ma me looking like me ma abandon. Me da say or they say street, right? Or sweet. Thank you. We should look at it holistically and found not because I'm a woman, because it involves two women. Ken me that say, I thank you so much. A family who because me your ba, and now we better say I be our warranty, ukra certificate into no. Because my first marriage, if you are worried, and I was okay with it. The man was not ready to marry two. No, you're not just worry me, no, but no, Asantini. Excuse my French, Asantifono don't want to member no more pay court or same. Or pefia worry, and yes, be or per se or worry me, no, Obi or also alone himself in Pranatrinity. One per man should be or China for fast man, or baby, I go fast maba. Into your if you are worry and answer, no way in any. Oh, damn it, no way in any. But I was okay with that. What I say, because I'm hard working. Believe you me woo Kofi. It was I think 2 months. October, November, yeah, 2 months. Na ye twaba. 2004 abato. Na mo takrade. I was in charge of the Western region. Correspondent na me tuka me jame ba ho me twim enufusu me jano ho na me nem me ba najo. And I've been like this since. Me kwa America. I was doing delivery. Me took car napa. Me sorry no nsia. In fact, earlier than 6. Because I don't play with my exercise. Me my exercise we yeah aduane sikem. Me took car napa. Me ben nwumre no wotwe. Me took napa me ben nwumre no wotwe. Because my rent was about $2,000. Bills in come. Yeah. Sometimes you have to even beg me say Kofi. Oh, let me tell you. So I naturally wouldn't even depend on a man to say I'm dependent on a man's property or I'm dependent on and I probably would fight. That's so I'm only trying to establish something so it doesn't look like because I have certificates I'm doing this or I don't have certificates I'm doing that. I'm just sharing my thoughts. And judgment ba what me chira wadwen fam. Ultimate chira madwen edwada ne ya chire ne yi. What I say edwada ne ya chire ne yi. Because every judgment becomes a precedence that you can use to file your case. If there's any other case that looks or has a similarity that looks like that, nah. Oh, file out to me the no your case say according to so and so in this judgment, this is what happened. We will go into it. We will delve into it. We need to speak to lawyers, local lawyers and foreign lawyers. We need to see the judgment because you can we are or try the judgment. So go into details. No, will tell you exactly why a case went this way or that way. And unyam pia, to meet the word be pia kran one the bet show exactly why your corn say, or say to produce offspring. Or says the judge's decision was the right decision. I want to understand why. I'm not saying it wasn't. I will cry. I can't say it wasn't. I just want to understand why. My point is, if somebody had a marriage certificate and another did not have one, and the other did not, you are in the US here. No, I'm not at the moment. I'm in Ghana at the moment. Me wa Ghana say me fi ho November, October. So I am saying say baako kura certificate na baako efia ware no wanya dance for but certificate no yes signature baako pe na wo so enti ye susu say bi kura nya papa na de ono so dia dance ye de fie de ne be dia dance a wanya obi anyina mama no ya kan mienu na abom say mumienu na nkoye kuna ho na me kan say mente ase papa o te ase sa na ti unless the judgment comes out well. Judge ne Troy ye ma ye hunu de si ye at the cronti or take it that stand so that I just want to understand the whole thing and get because how should a marriage certificate look like in Germany? First question. What I say so now both women are married to one man. Enti fia warrior na waji ni mienu atum say ye fia warrior enti wo mienu na akwaye kuna. I just want to get it. Say, obi the certificate ni yehu signature baako nti enya papa. Baako no so de no anya dance for nipa okodi dance e kire say no ni obi. Ba on de wate se ware no. Eno ni ye gina ni mienu so aka se ni mienu nti mu mienu na ya awafo nti mu nkọ ware ana. Mu nkọ yekuna ana. What would I feel the judge's decision is it? Will empower side chicks. No, it's not necessarily so. If truly she was married with fear warrior, na ebia na certificate na akosia se wa won na certificate original. Because you and I know some abroche warrior ne nkrata semunti bibia to misi. E ho nsem ne ya na edo so kakra. Se sa na tia na meti ote de meti ase. Me da se pa Ellis. Se sa na tia na ate ase se. Say inti na maame ana judge no decide so be asem ni say. Because said no kurese nipa no ye fia ware na enye obi dance ni amedia dance trodo say pictures ni meniema ni ye ware mo fie busumi say ni ye ware me ha ni ye ware me nipa wo simesi obentio na se nipa obentio simesi wo nyina enti ase de a something must prove. If there was nothing like that and the certificate too had just one signature, then both of them if that is what it is, cannot be called wives. It is about certificate nya papa na ne fie aware de no wo ho ne yankogu no a ono ye fie aware ni enti nipa ne betimi atwempena won chen enya aware fofra ka ho ni na ya te ase se be obi abe safe o te ase se be ya obi abe safe and nobody will just sit somewhere and say then if you're a side chick you have rights because she might not be a side chick, she might be legally or legitimately married to. But there should be a set yehu judgment no. My judge say when intimi susu so do bori ni ye ware no. When intimi susu akosha se wa share ware na mum court de na o ka se okoye na say the nkrata na odi fi Germany ba na nye papa. Because ya ko German embassy and I am a German judge and a German lawyer and a German certified registrar. Ya o ma kwan to me Emma certificate. Abedia dance here say certificate ni de ba German certificate ni nipa mienu na sign na nye papa because your certificate cannot be the same as somebody's own outside. You cannot assume that because nipa mienu e warranty signatures ni nipa mienu signature na ese ba so. You cannot assume because Ghana ha kwa worry we sign we are usually they give the certificate to the woman self. Well I all by fancy and makes it look like na wari here enti enti omu wi a no mo de certificate na mo ba na se je o certificate ni but a certificate nya me certificate a certificate ni but they give it to the woman. What you say? So those are the questions that why is Ghanaians don't think about themselves. You knew your host saying why not? Mawario. Semina I'll be some Mawaria, my patron certificate, meet him the actual. I'm Mawari. Miss Sumo was certificate. Mawari. And it's not a yet bahako. They have a right to. And I won't worry, so I won't let's own to me to the wardrobe somehow because and yet ni papa no be na dwen so worry. Well, be ho be na dwen so worry be a romance of penny. Romance of and answer none. But no so interest on to me too for aware for and now to me and so what you I know your casafin. And honestly, interest in marriage in Ghana is not safe. That's not it. That's not it. It's supposed to be. I say I relax. I did go is which one? Also, marriage is not about certificate. It is about certificate. It is about certificate. Mr. Ukra certificate who to me pa. That is what it's supposed to be. Me did to me say worry and yet so worry so worry like near bebre and a chest so worry. Uno kunote mo dabum mo nam mo krana. You know, I mean, but certificate is very important. Marriage is about certificate. To me a fear warrior, but a fear warrior no as is bibia to me see. As a woman, you are not safe. Because I ain't there no we fear warrior ni awari ni pa miensa. Now unu kunu nete. Na ya mo amane so awari mienu aka ho. Unim ba ono nete ye japade a. Ofiri mu a woni mienu no beka ho ache wa bra wo muti ba bi a wo embeboa wo mamo warrior na say they were not part of the process because when you are married, sometimes you give your all. Meka you give your all. Musika eya wo se ma ware odo no ho no musika ye musika. Enti eto na bi kura bi oba no na wo sika a ode ebo abema. Ama na pepega because sometimes se bema oba wo sika na bema ni sika ya na is some way and bema njine ye some way. So you want to help your man to get to a level where he will be a man to take over and be the man of the house. And sometimes you would want to support in any way that you can to get him up to a level to be able to manage the home like a man. And if a fear warrior na wo yes na say bia wo twempena mienu won chen wakoye mari mienu ho ade wa bra wonim enti enne me call a trek na oshoba ne fie one na ewo one mienu na ewo wo so te ho nim se wo nkwa ne aye ho ade a wote a eda ba ma ne beto no e ma ne mienu e beka ho ne wo okunu ejapade mu chefa enso na wo ne okunu na abra na wo kura na bia wo de usika bo a ba ma no e ma ne yes a ejapade no. Because sometimes women, when you are too much in love, or men when they are too much in love, or more register as I say, Mr. and Mrs. To the big grand Mr. and Mrs. Yet to me, my crime, my bearman, the bearman who crab it me, I register for a woman, or babbit me for which I quite register as I say, I'm winning, I'm the music, see, sit down and say, so I'm not sure. No, I register. It's winning. BBC, Munina, Moche. And so, class certificate. It prevents any other woman coming close to that. And certificates in crown, and yet enough, say, yeah, oh, Kotasa, say, I try Mr. and Mrs. It's not enough because anybody at all can be Mr. and Mrs. Because a Mujaya warrior, no worry about for that woman becomes another Mrs. Brefo. So my brother's wife can decide to come and say, Mrs. Brefo. Because I'm also Mrs. Brefo. So Shana ye tro mato bibia ya tro nana ya Brefo danso. Mr. Kwame danso. Ye me nedi woso. What did they Let's just say it tells that the thing is for both of us. Ochnebi and for how be ama. Do you get what I'm? Yes. So certificate is very important, and when you have it, ukra to me. Ukra to me be. Ukra certificates na ukra to me be. But yes, in America says ya shen ye na yes say ye to me improve certificates na na ekro ba na nye papa. Dia Kamia said na ye making nonsense of that certificate na ekro ye no. Say ye to me improve say nye papa. Kamia said ye certificate na ekro ye nyina na nye emfa so bi eni so. Ehun hia say obekwa akopɛ certificate. So when I was registering my land documents, what happened? Because only be my bobra, the old ones all ban, and now the old ones all ban a ban, wodia. Name dear or buy my ya kahon, modia, and found in the paprod in the sky. Our ejaya bar, chefa womb, both sides. Nipani free moi, yet chim. Se nipa na anya wo kra court be hwe me yachichem ma de oyo yire na nya bi ne manya bi de oyo yire nya bi ma ne manya bi side check nka ho de oyo side check awom one ne woma ne mma be nya bi ba do ba ne de awu nya bi what I say oba ne de awu nya bi. I can't accept you, sorry. Oba no wo ye side chick wo mabenya bi ba wo nya bi. Ba say ye fia ware ye de a na mu mienu ana amensa ne ya ware mu fie de a mu nyina mu wo mu chefa. E wo de nipa no ye bra mu hia ye. It is when you marry the person, whatever the person did after becomes something that you legitimately have a right or a stake in it, not before. And yet, dear, na me once. So, by a messy dying that idea won't come home. But ye toy na me toy after no. Semino tia me near Jumaponam Sikanka who be a my head and yam wedi. Me shall could there be an army ye be my unya home for ye Juma Munya scadi ye. Ain't ye bema mucha fakakra. What did they change? The Ukra certificate unya? Uni obiani kaka. Uni obiani ye chimpe. And to me, they may try judgment no matter. I'm really interested in it. I really want to understand. I really want to get it.